Rainollon here. Today is another build showcase, and it's Ivara Prime. So let us immediately start. Starting with the mods. The mods I'm using on my Ivara Prime are Corrosion Projection, which lowers enemies' armor. Cunning Drift gives you ability range, Stretch, ability range, overextended ability range, which is mandatory for this build. Transient Fortitude and Umbra Intensify for ability strength, Prime Continuity for ability duration, and Prime Flow for energy economy. These two mods, I'm going to talk about them very soon, so let's ignore them for now. For the Arcanes, Multi-Augmented, you get permanent 60 ability strength when you kill 250 enemies, and Arcane Rage, when you headshot, there's a 50% chance to get 180 increased damage for your primary weapon, which is really good for this build. For the stats, as you can see here, duration is above average, efficiency not even touched, range huge, and strength above average, which is absolutely fine. For the abilities, a second ability, I completely removed it, and I replaced it with Gara's Spectral Rage, which I'm using the augment called Spectral Cipher. What it does is when enemies die inside your second ability, which is Gara's third ability, there's a 50% chance to drop energy orbs. These energy orbs are going to heavily sustain your build, that you can permanently be invisible, permanently DPS and clear, and constantly crowd control, which is really, really good, and it's a must-have. It's by far the best possible mod and ability to sustain your energy problems. First ability, the only thing I'm going to use in my first ability is the Sleep Radius. Sleep Radius is going to make enemies fall asleep for 12 seconds, which I will do more damage to them. Third ability, you're going to be permanently invisible, nothing's going to shoot you. That's why I'm not using Prime Shoot Footed, which is completely useless. And her fourth ability, which is the main ability you're going to be using with the augment of her fourth ability, what it does, instead of you shooting a volley of arrows, it's a singular arrow with a plus 50 flat critical chance on headshot that explodes in a 7-meter radius, removes punch through. So this explosion of 7-meter radius scales with range, and instead of 7 meters, it's 17.5 meters, which is huge. It's really, really good, and it's a really good augment. So yeah, those are the abilities, the stats, the mods, the arcane. Let's talk about Ivara's Exalted Weapon, the main weapon that we're going to use for this build. Let's see here. First, I'm going to talk about Eternal Bleeding. So the explosion from her fourth ability augment does blast damage, but also has a 100% chance to proc impact, doing 500 impact damage. So because we have a 100% chance to proc impact, impacts this effect have a 35% chance to apply slash effect times 2, and fire rate is below 2.5. Our fire rate is perfectly 2.5. So we have a 70% chance to proc slash when we proc impact, which helps us a lot of in clear. Gallant Chamber will shoot more arrows, proccing more impact, proccing more slash. Critical damage and critical chance to do more damage with slash and initial hits. Serration for increased damage. Bane of the Orc makes our, it's a multiplicative, makes our initial hits and damage over time do more damage. Rifle Elementalist, it's also multiplicative, will make our slash procs do even more damage. And Vigilante Ornaments, which gives us 60 multi-shot and also 50% chance to enhance your crits for primary weapon. This is really good. You will see sometimes red and orange crits, and this is also going to help you out with clear. Prime Firestorm. Firestorm does work even if it doesn't show you. Your AoE is bigger, but I will rather focus on damage more than AoE, and your AoE in general is high. 18 meters, like, that's already too much. So yeah, these are the mods I'm using. And now let's talk about the Sentinel. If you're using a Sentinel, which is a must-have in my opinion, I don't know if it works on dogs and cats, but if you're using a rifle Sentinel, what do you call the weapon, use Vigilant Ornaments mods to enhance your critical hits bonus from 5% to be 15%, which will help out your fourth ability even more. So yeah, that's the setup. Time for me to show you in game. So how does this build work exactly? I'm going to spawn level 140, which is pretty much early stages of Steel Path you're going to be fighting. Ganir. Let's spawn Arc instead. Spawn these guys. I'm going to get some energy. I'm going to press my third ability. I'm invisible. Nothing's going to attack me. Switch my first ability to the sleep arrow to make enemies fall asleep. Press my second ability, which is Gara Spectral Rage. Enemies that die inside will have a 50% chance to drop energy. Press my fourth ability. And you don't need to hold your left click, you can just tap. So I'm going to make them fall asleep. Now they're crowd controlled and they also take more damage. So I'm going to just tap once, twice, and as you can see here, it's melting them. You can also see there are plenty of energy orbs. My carrier already grabbed a lot of them. Let's do it again. So you're permanently invisible, crowd control, clear, solid single target DPS. You can also make acolytes fall asleep. And I 3-tap the acolytes. Like, you just make them fall asleep. This is an acolyte. 1, 2, 3, and it's dead. You can also see the clear is amazing, and you're always full on energy, which is really, really nice. Invisible, good clear, it's really fun, very unique. And yeah, I really enjoy. This is the only Ivara build I enjoy. Every other build Ivara that has, it's just hella boring to me. This has clear, and she's consistent in clearing. She's very tanky because she's invisible. Energy economy, crowd control, and really good bonus damage from vigilant ornaments. And yeah, really good clear, 18-meter radius. I highly recommend going for this build. It will make it a completely different way you can play her, and it's quite enjoyable for me. I hope you also enjoyed. Thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like, sub, and see you all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.